I don't believe in chemtrails, I don't live in Truthville. Just because you saw it on the screen doesn't make it real. I don't take the red pill, I don't take the blue pill. I just choose to follow my dreams, auto hooks and chill. I step off the world stage and I've moved away from all the fake outrage and the hearsay. And I don't give the time of day to those what they say, cause they got a bad case of the mind ache. I step away from the game entirely, I won't be caught up in the lame dichotomy.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's the Fakeologist Show. It's Sunday, April the 13th, 2025. And this is Auto Hoaxology by Symbia. I hope she's well. I haven't heard any new tracks from her. This is a joint broadcast today with the IPS website. And Tim Osmond is the host, and he's a regular here at Fakeologist. We always like to hear from him, and he's back. Tim, how you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me on. I had a brief blackout period, about 10 days of near radio silence. So I'm glad we can catch up because it has not slowed down. The PSYOP onslaught has just been like relentless.
That's right. Yeah, I was getting worried about you, and everyone else was too. So glad you're back. Glad you're okay. Obviously, you have to do things to keep the enterprise floating, since it's hard as an independent artist to keep going. I don't. I have a regular job, of course, so this is just my hobby. But I'm sure you spend a good amount more time at it, so you should be rewarded somehow.
Well, I had a unexpected thing with my truck, some car repairs that had to take precedent over the internet connection. But I used the downtime to research everything I could about AI, how to set up bots, AI agents, and how to implement them in my operations here. And I rebuilt my websites. I host them all now. So infiniteplanesociety.com, autohoax.com. And then I started the line of PSYOP trading cards, which are well on their way to a full deck. So I made use of the time, and it was very, very useful. But I'm happy to be back, and I'm doubling down on this.
Autohoax.com. Okay, I've got that up on the screen. I'll put show notes to all this on my website. This is FAK1056-IPS Joint. So you can leave comments there. I'll put all the links there. Yeah. Well, when you're running on a shoestring budget, it's either the internet connection or your transmission, I guess.
I had to make that choice, and I realized that maybe I could do something with this time. So when I come back, maybe I'll be in a better position to monetize everything I'm doing. And I did actually reestablish stores and products. My eBay store has been repurposed. So I think we're in a much better position. And autohoax.com gets a lot of traffic. Well, from my perspective, it's getting like passively thousands of hits a day. And I turned it into, quote,
Oh, wow.
the hoax report. And if you look, it's kind of like the Drudge Report, and it has a
I
bunch of
like it.
RSS feeds. And
I
look
like
at
it. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. That's a
well,
great
take a look
idea.
at those feeds. You're in there. So what I've
Yeah, I
done,
see. Yeah,
yep,
perfect.
anytime somebody posts on your forums, anytime you update something, I'll put your YouTubes here. It'll auto populate, and then I'm going to have this
Oh, that's a
constantly.
great idea.
Yep. So this is now the hub for media fakery analysts. Analysts.
I almost wanna rip this idea off and put a page like this on my site. That's a great idea, actually. Really good.
Please
I've always
do
liked
it.
it. I've always
Do it.
yeah, I will. I think I will. It's a great idea. I don't know.
Welcome
Wait.
to the
Oh, sorry. I've
show.
got, Jake the asshole on in the background. Whoops, hold on a sec. Did you hear that?
Yeah, is he there with you right now?
No, I'm no, I have his YouTube channel because I thought I'd get your comment on this as well, because he's doing a show about Jeranism will flip on the moon landing, and Richie from Boston's coming back. So I had him on waiting for him. His show just started as well.
Okay, Jake the a-hole, Jake the Orphis, should he should be on your show. He should be on JLB. JLB should have him on for a conversation. And
I
I've
agree.
reached out to him, but I don't know, he doesn't trust us. Maybe he found out that we're agents. I don't know, but for some reason he won't do it. But hopefully he'll hear us, and because
I
he
haven't reached
is
out to him.
funny.
I have not reached out to him, honestly, but I would have him on the show. I think he's definitely a very good fit for what we do, for sure. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah. He's definitely an auto hoaxer. It is he passes the test as far as most things, but this is good. This is good. I had no idea, but this is a good idea. Calling out Jaron for flipping on the moon landing.
Yeah.
That's a great prediction, and I had no idea Richie from Boston was coming back.
Well, yeah, I didn't either. I just saw this now, and I guess Jake called Jaronism was going to flip on the flat Earth, which I guess he did. So this seems very predictable. So now he figures he's going to flip on the moon landing thing. So yeah, I do listen to. I was catching up on a lot of Jake's stuff because you were off. So I usually listen to you, but since you weren't on, I listened to some of his 4-hour shows as I was driving around. So yeah, it's good stuff. I'll put a link
Well,
to his show.
yeah, he's a long form live stream, and he is communicative with the commenters. So there's a lot there. His thing here with Jaron though, this is going to be interesting because I
Yeah.
was wondering about that Jaron and the moon landing thing and the ISS thing. But one thing is interesting too. Jaron is going after Dearth and Mark Sargent. He's basically
Oh, really?
on a
Wow.
warpath. Yeah, he is anti-flat Earth right now.
This whole thing is imploding, huh? This whole flat Earth.
Well, Paul on the ball. I mean, Paul on the plane. Patty Steer, Robbie Davidson. All these conference organizers have put out letters saying that they are no longer a part of this, and it's been like this very public exit. I guess you'd call it an apostasy. I don't know what you call it. They're leaving the cult. They're describing it as a cult, but yeah, the flat Earth model being challenged by the 24-hour sun has really created a rift. And now the guy who did the final experiment, Patrick Duffy, is releasing a Netflix documentary soon, or some documentary, Netflix quality at least, like Behind the Curve, about the final experiment. So this is not over yet.
Awesome. Yeah, just so you know, I don't know if you've got my forums. The forums has a feed as well. You said you put it on there. I'm not. I just wanted to make sure you knew that you could get a feed off the forums as
Okay,
well.
good. I was looking for more feeds today. I'll put that in my notes there.
I don't know what the actual address is. It could be feed. Oh yeah, that's it right there. You just add the word feed at the end of it. So I'll put a
Okay.
link to that in the show notes. So you can put the feed. Lynn does a ton of posting over here. Um, I told her to maybe go to Fakeologist forums instead of putting it on Facebook because I can't get in my own Fakeologist Facebook group anymore. I've been shut out of Facebook. And I just don't feel like trying to log in for the 50 millionth time with another login.
Yeah, I'm with that. They always make me reset my password every single time. But when it comes to the RSS feed, if you have a blog or a newsletter, Lynn, also, I'm gonna get anybody who wants to be listed on the hoax report to give me their feeds, and it'll be a daily automatically updating breakdown. And one of the bots I'm working with scrapes all the headlines and links and comments and puts it together into a newsletter breakdown. Like this is what's on the hoax report today. So I'm getting that bot activated tonight.
Oh, interesting. So how does this work? That you're always on the cutting edge. So how does a bot work? What do you have to manually feed it information and it processes it?
Yeah, basically, I'm working with AI bots that are kind of like an app, but essentially the one I'm using is, and I'm using a website. There's a couple websites you can do, so you
Mm,
don't have to do all the code yourself, but you
okay.
just tell it what you want, and you have these modules. So, for example, I have this bot that anytime somebody posts something with the hashtag chemtrails, it's on X, and
Mm.
the app will access X to the API, and it will post on my behalf on that person's tweet about the chemtrail with a link to one of my blog posts, and it'll use a chat GPT prompt to generate not only a response that's new and organic, but an image with Grok. So I have these bots that are doing various tasks. They will automatically reply to
Wow. You have to pay for that? How'd you figure that out? That's pretty cool.
to build the code for
Oh,
you,
sorry,
and you just
you
turn
you
it
broke
on.
up there. So, where can I find these? That sounds cool.
Well, one of my bots right now is operating on X. It's Auto Hoax is the name of it,
Okay.
and I have another one operating on Blue Sky,
Okay.
which again, it's not just spam. It's not just posting links. It's actually responding to content according to parameters I give it. Like you can tell it how to respond. And I specifically say, respond to any of these posts with information or ideas generated from this particular blog feed. So it's actually like speaking on my behalf.
Okay. Let me log into my own X account. I'll take a look at yours. On X, okay, so your auto hoax are over here on X. Okay.
So
So
that bot will, if he retweets me,
yeah.
and it every day it will post a comment on a news article from certain feeds I've given it. It will automatically follow 10 people, and it will respond to anybody mentioning chemtrails or the hashtag auto hoax. And that's just the start of it. He's going to become more complex over time, but right now it's running on autopilot.
Okay.
It even responded to some chemtrail post in a language I do not speak. It's that next tweet there. I had to use translator to see. And what it does is it responds, and then it gave it a graphic that it rendered, and then it said, if you want more factual information, go to, and then it sends people to autohoax.com.
That is awesome. Okay, so how did you where can I get one of these bots? And do you think
Now,
it'll be banned off X? Because I know that WordPress used to auto post to X and they canceled the API. I think you had to pay for the API or something. That's how Twitter blocked it.
oh, Twitter has raised some barriers,
Mm,
but anybody, if you have a Twitter account, you just go to your developer account, dev.twitter,
yeah.
and you log in as a free account, and you can set up bots that will post up to like 200 times a day, or they have limits. They have like
Uh-huh.
use limits, but no, it's actually it's free unless you want to scale it up. And
Yeah.
as far as how to activate the bot, you just have to go to like a site that allows you to do coding and build modules, and and it will basically serve as the interface between you and your bot will go do what it says. And so I have bots on a few sites, and that bot is brand new, rudimentary, but he's already working for me, and it's only going to become more useful over time. For example, you could, and this is what I'm planning on. Anytime there's a tragedy, a psyop, or a shooting, I'm going to have bots all over the initial coverage and breaking news, like automatically writing press releases with the available information, for example.
So is this you or the bot posting here where you said here, I don't believe you, hearsay is not evidence?
That's me. The bot just got activated. So you can see where sometimes I jump in as well. I jump in on these accounts and use them. But when I'm
Okay.
not using them, they're on a schedule. So every 33 minutes, it's going to scour Twitter for certain things, respond, and then move on. And then at certain points during the day, it has scheduled tasks.
Oh, wow. How did you figure that out? How did you figure this bot program out?
When my internet was down, I was just at my place and I started watching a bunch of tutorials. Like
Oh,
literally, I was watching tutorials 8 to 12 hours a day. I thought I was going to learn Python. I thought I was going to learn how to code. And after like 3 or 4 days, I figured out, okay, I get the process, but while I learn, I can use these other websites that do all the hard work and it
mm,
teaches you on the way. It's kind of like hiring a mechanic that can teach you as you go. So I'm in the process of learning, but I have enough now to move these things into operation.
okay. Well, maybe I'll have to get some lessons or get some links to some of these tutorials for me to look at. I'm busy learning some other stuff about
Yes.
investing so I can actually make some money. But yeah, this is pretty cool. This is
Well, that's part of it, though. I was looking at ways to use AI to make money, not in some scammy way, but like what I already do. So, for example, I
mhm,
sell stuff on eBay. Well, I found this
yeah.
AI agent that will auto post like literally 100 blog posts at a time on your blog, and each one will be unique, search engine optimized, and it will contain links to products on eBay that it's reviewing on your behalf and posting affiliate links. And if you could scale up like your affiliate marketing with a bot, you could actually turn it into something. And in the last couple of weeks, I've set a couple things up and I'm starting to see some results. And I'm 100% happy to share links and ideas with people as far as what I'm doing. So I'll go ahead and post a newsletter about it because I've tested out a lot of things and people might find it useful.
Yeah, I find even young people are really against AI, but I think we're in the almost in the gold rush period for AI, where if you can use AI right now in a way that most people are either ignoring or too afraid to get into it, you could have quite a competitive advantage. And I think that the AI is heavy into the stock market right now because that's what I'm spending more time just tracking trading methods and whatnot with the few bucks that I'm willing to risk, which isn't much. And I think that just the last week we had one of the biggest up days ever, and then followed by one of the biggest down days ever. And I think there is a lot of bot activity to make this happen.
Ooh, interesting. I think you're
Yeah,
probably yeah, that's probably certain.
we're seeing some wild, very fast swings because the trading. I think the speed and quantity of trading is machine-like, whereas a person can't even respond. You set your parameters and just have the machine go at it. I think it's almost like, some of the bots they used to use for eBay. I think there was one called Auction Sniper. This is when I was just trying to buy a few things, and then I realized I couldn't win any auctions. This is at least 10 years ago. And then I just gave up because I just wanted to buy stuff. I didn't wanna play the auction game where I wanted one thing and then I never got it because I always lost the auction. And then I realized that people were using, some machine tools to beat me by 1 cent almost every time. You probably know about all that kinda stuff.
Yeah, I remember these things because I was into eBay at the time. But yeah, when it comes to AI, we're talking about new tools that are very democratizing and they level the playing field. You don't have to be rich with big funding to engage in productions like what and it's not just the arts. It has to do with pretty much every area of life. And if you're not using it, you're gonna lose. It's actually kind of sad because a lot of people are upset by how this is changing the way people are doing things. Like you can no longer be competitive in a lot of fields if you're not engaged with it. And this is specifically true for media. And what's interesting now is that there are so many personalities on YouTube who are going to be phased out by avatars,
Oh,
faceless
yeah.
accounts, and that's the new
You're
thing, faceless accounts.
you're gonna get porn stars doing things that a regular human wouldn't do because it's AI. I mean, think about it, it's just crazy, and the if you're, a lot of people think porn built the high-speed internet. Obviously, porn was big with, graphics back in the day when we had user groups. Remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember when you'd sit at 300 baud and watch the screen create this ASCII porn picture or it's just. And now, of course, it's driven probably, streaming video and whatnot into
Well,
what it is today.
that is a thing. There are people creating fake people and doing street interviews. I seen,
Right.
and that these things are foolproof. I saw one. It was some lady being interviewed, and
Okay.
they were asking her about, like questions about dating and this and what she looked for in a man. And so
Yeah.
this video gets a ton of hits,
Mhm.
and people are responding to her, and they're like, "Wow, she's perfect. How can I meet her?" Then the creator comes out, and he's like, "This person doesn't exist." And there
Whoa.
are people. It's actually that bad. I mean, that good.
Wow. So was he in the video, but he was interviewing an avatar, or was everything
Well,
digital?
the hand was a microphone reaching out, doing this interview with this girl on the street, and that
Well, okay.
clip was just, like, very believable. And so this is a game changer, and
Mm.
fakery has just been completely incentivized, and it's impossible to tell real from fake now. But, I think that this is useful for me because I'm trying to build up a database of predictive programming slash news slash drills, and I want to show the interconnectedness of these things. And one of the ways I'm doing this is I'm using Perplexity, which is essentially a search engine on steroids where you can
Yeah.
ask it questions and it'll search 50 sources at a time and give
Yeah.
you a detailed breakdown of sources. So I'm building an entire catalog of PSYOP analysis in a wiki format using this stuff. I would need 20 researchers working full time to do what I can do with AI.
Yeah, I'm using Perplexity as well, and I'm not to not to the advantage you're using it, but I am looking at it. Let me ask you: you're an artist, and my daughter just graduated with a major in art history, and she hates AI because she's a traditional artist slash researcher. So, what what do you have a message to her when it comes to what to do with AI? Because she just hates everything about it when it comes to art.
Yeah, I have to wonder if there's going to be some pushback in that area where maybe the flood of generic, obvious AI art will at some point cause a demand for original. So I don't know what the future has for it, but at a minimum, I don't think you can survive as an artist without having a web presence.
Hmm.
Whether one wants to use AI tools is up to them. But as far as like, I don't think you have to totally give up your authentic art. In fact, that could be the one distinction that's worth honing in on. Because if everybody can do this stuff, then you need to focus on what everybody can't do. Even though even though I don't know, I think it's generic. When you look at this AI art, it is intrinsically generic looking and feeling, and I understand why artists are against it. But as far as is it going to replace them? It's replacing graphic artists. It's
Yeah.
replacing writers left and right, ghost writers. I could hire a ghostwriter, or I can use a piece of I can use an app, that a language model that's just going to give me a novel that I can edit. So it's such an interesting thing because it's going to be very disruptive for a lot of people who had their hopes on doing things the old way.
Yeah, you're an artist yourself. You do art. Do you think your AI is going to be disrupting or destroying your income?
No, I sell a lot of my artwork, as you see, like through eBay and stuff, but I'm also selling AI generated stuff like the PSYOP trading cards. So I'm doing
Mhm.
both. I'm not stopping what I'm doing. In fact, I'm taking my regular art and I'm making it into prints and stuff. And sometimes I'll use AI to generate ideas, but generally, no, I'm keeping these things separate. I think it's smart to keep them separate because I think at some point originality might actually matter again.
This is a great idea. These trading cards. I thought that was fantastic. I actually wouldn't mind a set myself for in in the old fashioned cardboard or whatever they used to be made of. I think it's
That's what
great
we're
that
that's what we're doing. So what you see
yeah.
here is, and you can buy these at autohoax.com at the bottom. What I'm doing is I'm creating them as stickers first. And
Hmm.
once we've got a couple dozen, I have a few different places I can go to have them made into cards. And the backside will explain in detail what the face is describing. And I'll be covering, pretty much all these different events. And once I have 20 or so designs, I'll produce entire decks,
Oh, that's
which,
such a great idea. If you
well,
could
these are
make them as popular as Pokemon, whatever those are, cards or whatever those things are, people lining up still for that kind of nonsense. If you could make this stuff go crazy, that would be great.
Well, everybody likes the Illuminati trading cards, so I think PSYOP
Mhm.
trading cards could really do well on eBay. And one of the things too is they're going to come out in limited editions. There'll be some competition to find them, but yeah, this could be like Pokemon for the conspiracy theorists. And one more point, I'm using a print on demand coupled with
Mhm.
AI. This stuff is all automated where I'm not physically having to process these, like put these stickers into envelopes. Like this is all done by a third party, which means it can scale up. Like
Wow.
we can this could become popular and it's not any additional work on my end. So I'm looking at this as a viable side income.
Oh, that's great. I hope this takes off for you. So did you generate this level of psyopry, or was that AI as well that made this?
Okay, that psyop, what level truther are you?
Yeah.
That was floating around Twitter, and it was level 1 through 6. And I saw this, it was annoying me because everybody was sharing it like, "I'm a level 6 truther. I believe in
Yeah.
the Synagogue of Satan and Project Bluebeam." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, but level 6 isn't high enough. We're up here at level 7. And if
Oh,
you're not
that's
on this
great.
level." So if you read what's on level 7, that's one tier above the fringiest, truthiest truther in Trutherville.
Yeah, it almost seems like you should redesign the card now that you and just issue this as a proper graphic now, because yeah, this is totally good.
Well, what
Level
I'll do
7.
is
Yeah.
I'll do it as a poster. Like, that's another thing. The
Yeah.
printer I'm using, the company, they can turn the same image into a sticker, a poster, put it on a T-shirt. But I'm thinking Auto Hoax posters. I have all these graphics that describe the world stage and these charts and stuff that, yeah, I'm absolutely putting them on posters because this is educational material.
This is great. This crisis actor, CRY. This is fantastic. Channel 33 psyops. What's this? So you gave it its own page. I see what you've done. Oh, this is great.
I think they're funny. I think these are hilarious, and of course, they're going to become playing cards. I've done one on the Boston Hoaxathon, where you have these people, and you have to know how to talk to the AI. Because if you say, "Give me an image of a bunch of marathon runners with their legs blown off and a crock pot bomb," it won't do it. So you have to be clever. You have to say, "Give me an image of half a dozen marathon runners on the ground stretching. Some of them are amputees. A crock pot is overheating." And so you have to like talk to it in such a way that it doesn't know that it's recreating a terror attack.
Well, you have to be an expert prompt jockey. I've heard that you have to. It's a talent to become a prompt jockey and make this AI do what you need it to do.
Well, they guardrail it. Like on 9/11, I try to make the AI give me a pair of pants. I wanted a pair of jeans upside down, the two legs burning, like pants on fire, liar, liar, pants on fire. And it wouldn't put burning pants on a skyline, on a Manhattan skyline. It wouldn't do it because it knew I was trying to reference the Twin Towers.
Oh wow! Are
Now,
all AI generators the same, or are there some?
yeah, they're all auto believers in the fake news. And this is interesting because these things are programmed to
Mhm.
conform to the fake news as though it's true. And this has some interesting connotations because I'm like, tell me how many people survived the Vegas shooting and died at the Thousand Oaks shooting 13 months later? And
Mhm.
it actually has to tell me, well, 50 people, according to this person, were at this event and this event. And it describes in detail, but then it also says, but this is merely a coincidence. So
Okay. Well,
I take the research from Perplexity and I take all of the data, and then I just delete the stuff where they're obviously trying to tell me not to see what I'm seeing.
well, big audience tonight. You got bring a huge audience. Thanks everyone for joining. We got FAK1056. We've got 2X accounts going. We have my YouTube channels, your YouTube channel. You have Twitch. I'm off Twitch. I've got D Live. You've got D Live. So great audience tonight. Thanks everyone for joining. If anyone wants to call in and ask Tim Osmond a question, you can. Now's your big chance.
Yeah,
And
what's your number? Let me put your number in the chat. So the number is
oh yeah, it's on the bottom. I've got a scroll screen on the bottom. So you guys can come right into the chat room if you want, shortfake.com/chat, or you can go to the Discord, shortfake.com/Discord. I guess there's no way of calling me directly on my Discord profile, but you can call in on the phone numbers at the bottom, 810-666-1984 or 902-400-1984. You guys, there's many ways. Yeah, you might know this. If someone has your ID on Discord, can they contact you directly? Is there a way? Like if I tell
yes,
everyone, yeah, you
yes.
can.
I think they can't because you have a username that you assign and it's unique to you. So you can give out
Yeah,
your unique username.
I'm just trying to find it. Edit user profile, because I'm FAK something or other, but what is it? I'm Fakeologist version 8, Fakeologist V8, but that's not the unique name. I don't think that's. There must be another way to figure it out here. Shoot. Let me see if I can figure it out here.
So hey, you're the one, and I've been using the hoax report to source
Mhm,
this stuff. You're the one. You shared the article by
mhm.
the individual there who, what's the name of his podcast? The guy who was actually at the pier and could not find evidence
Yeah, it
of.
was Jason Goodman. Honestly, I made the title when he was looking. I know he at the end of the video he found the site where the police boat and the fire boat and the Coast Guard were all huddled together, but he actually didn't see any evidence. There was no clamoring around. There was no urgency. It was almost like nothing happened. And he was literally there 2 hours later, according to him. So
Okay,
Jason Goodman, yeah.
no way, because I drove by a car wreck yesterday. It was not even a major one, but
Mhm.
2 hours later, there's still the police service aids and there's lights and they're still clearing it up. And the idea that a helicopter crashes there
Yeah.
and it's quiet after, that's kind of an indicator. So it's nice to have somebody on the ground. And I'm
Yeah.
looking at this helicopter thing. I'm like, wait a minute. All we have is convenient footage and the story and a lot of details. And the story's all intrigue. Like, oh, it's a CEO, and the pilot was a Navy SEAL, but because he was black, you had all kinds of right wingers like Ann Coulter
DEI.
saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's a DEI death." So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, all the narrative attached to it makes me think it's just another hoax, just like the previous one, which is another DEI crash. So what do you think about Kate Perry, Jeff Bezos' wife Lauren Sanchez, Gail King, and a few other women
Mhm.
getting into Bezos' rocket and blasting off tomorrow? Do you think they're going to blow them up and call it a DEI incident?
Is this actually happening? I honestly, I'm not even paying attention. So that's an actual story for tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, Kate Perry's going to space.
I had no idea. I'm just where do you keep track of this? Here's Drudge. Does this help? I mean, PA governor residence set on fire. What do we have? Katy Perry. Let me look it up.
Yeah, she's on there because it has
Bezos. I don't even see any rocket stories on Drudge, so they're supposed to be going up tomorrow, are they?
they're going up tomorrow morning. They've been on there because they're showing off their uniforms. I think you scroll down a little bit, and I'm gonna probably do what they do there. I'll put my main headlines on the top.
Yeah, this is good. I don't like Drudge in the sense that I can't believe this guy made a business out of just stealing links and in a very rudimentary form. It's just hard to believe, but obviously people like the format.
Well,
It's a
the
great
history of
format.
Drudge, like, okay, if you just forget his politics and how he's become this anti-Trump person, or the site has, Drudge started off as a newsletter, an email newsletter, where he would
Okay.
send out relevant stories to people on his list that the mainstream wouldn't cover, and it blew up huge. And then he became like one of the top news aggregators on the internet. So what he's doing is just curating what he thinks is relevant if you want to be in the know about politics, and he's good, or they're good. And so they have this reputation. So what I've done with the hoax report is the same thing, where if it's a hoax worth studying, it's going to be on the hoax report. And we're going to have lists of all the writers and bloggers who are a part of this, who are auto hoax compliant. So
Yeah.
the auto hoax website, the hoax report, is going to be the central hub. And if you're talking about the stuff, if you're on the forums, it's going to show up here.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, you one thing about you, you always are coming up with new ideas. You're always just innovating, trying to see what will catch on. This could catch on.
I've wanted this for a long time, but I tried it with the Insider, I've tried it with Infinite Plane Media. I've been trying this for a couple of years, but now that I have autohoax.com with organic traffic, I didn't realize that it was just getting traffic on a blog that I wasn't posting on. And while I was having this downtime, I just redirected it, hosted my own site, and it's getting, like I said, I think today it was almost 3,000 hits, and I don't know where the
Wow.
traffic's coming from.
It's just the name. It's a good I thought fakeologist.com might be a good name, but I don't really think it caught on the same way, but auto hoax is just maybe a word that's out there now. So logically, people might type in the word auto hoax and let's see what happens if we use Google to just say auto hoax. Maybe you come up number one for all I know. I guess you okay.
it's becoming more and more. And one thing that I think is important here is that to recognize that at some point the media is going to interface with the auto hoaxer. And you saw how they reacted to the flat earther. You see how they hate conspiracy theorists. When they see this new iteration, when they come
Mhm.
across the auto hoaxer, a media skeptic who's armed with an understanding and has been studying how they operate, they're not going to know how to handle it. And if they talk about it, if they panic about it, we're going to control that narrative because nobody else is in front of it. And that was the point here. We have to make sure that if somebody searches
Yeah.
auto hoaxer, they only get us.
Yeah, you're not on you're not on well, your name is coming up right away, the auto hoax song. This is my Google search. Your Google search might be different. I don't usually use Google, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. Have you seen the AI Google Gemini overview? Auto hoax is a term that often appears in discussions about media manipulation, misinformation, and the spread of false narratives. It can refer to situations where automated systems or algorithms are used to generate or disseminate fake content, news, or propaganda. This may include the creation of fake social media accounts, bot generated content, or the use of AI to mimic human speech and writing. So it's not
That's
really,
that one kind of made it up out of nowhere. Uh,
yeah.
it generally graphs off of the definitions from the AutoHoax Wiki, or it'll scrape it from even Uber. I think the Urban Dictionary. But yeah, we have to saturate the field. That's why you see it showing up with all kinds of commerce, like Amazon, for example.
Oh,
Be
this is your entry in Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
Oh, you made this. Okay.
Oh, yes. I've been planning this for a long time. I've been planning for the
You put
day.
this up on August 1st, 2019. It says here.
Yeah, we've been planting the seeds because we know that they're going to try to co-opt this type of media analysis. And look what they have done with the term conspiracy theorist or flat earther. They don't have a way of destroying fakeologist or auto
Yeah.
hoaxer. They can't touch it. It's toxic to them. So I'm looking forward to the day when we have this reckoning.
Well, this is great. So you've been planning this a long time.
I feel like it's inevitable. They have to deal with this. We are a growing problem.
Ms. L says, when I plug it into Google, I get the song. Lots of ways to get the song. Okay, well, it's a great song, actually. I think I put it up on FakeOTube as well. You can do a quick search. Auto hoax. Let's
Now,
see.
uh, so I've been keeping up with a lot of the news lately,
Okay.
as always. And so one of the things I've been trying to point out to people is that like whenever we have these events, they follow such an obvious pattern, and we have to like suspend judgment. And these things are so obvious to us, but may not be to others. So what we're introducing here is a methodology for approaching news. That's really what all we're offering. I'm not telling people what to believe or think. I'm just saying if you're automatically believing it because it's a headline, you're deceived. It's actually quite simple.
Do you control the Reddit auto hoax group?
I actually have control of it. I think I've automated it, or I'm gonna automate it so that it will be scraping content that I post from other blogs, and it'll just automatically post it here. And if you want to automate tasks like that, for example, I post at blog A and it reposts it at this blog and Reddit and LinkedIn or whatever. There's a site called make.com.
Okay.
Make.com gets you started in the process of automation and bots.
Make.com. By the way, it says here one of the moderators at Auto Hoax is actually a curvy sexfrit lady. He's a recurring donor at Fakeologist. So this is a good guy. I don't know
Oh,
if you
excellent. Excellent.
I don't so did he start this then, I guess? Or you appointed a moderator? Because you're not on here, it doesn't look like.
I'll have to look into it because I have several accounts. It's hard for me to keep up. I open up a bunch of accounts up and sometimes they get lost. But this one, maybe it's not totally under my control. Maybe it is. I might be a moderator on there, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and find out because I need to activate the Reddit. Reddit is great for search engine results. And if you want to have a Q&A for the
Mhm.
topic of how to analyze a PSYOP, Reddit is one of the places where we should have it.
Well, yeah, but this is now it's a public company. I don't know if you know that they went public, so you can. I can't even believe that it's actually a company that makes money, but I guess they make money somehow, memberships and such. But to be on the stock market is to me crazy. It's almost like
Wow.
the .com bubble where just about anything with the word .com was IPO'd into a stock. But yeah, it looks like you are the main. Okay, you've got your own Reddit as well, Infinite Plane Radio as well. So it looks like somehow you got cross posted onto this from Infinite Plane Radio, which is another Reddit thread. Or no, maybe that's just you actually. Oh, I guess you means user. Okay,
Right,
that's
right. And again, I'm not active on all these platforms. I can't be all the time. So I
yeah,
believe that automation is one of the best ways to keep in touch with all these things so you don't miss anything. But for the most part, that downtime I had was time for me to kind of regroup and activate a bunch of old platforms, specifically e-commerce. But I'm going to make it a point to jump into Reddit and see
yeah.
if we can get something going there. There's a pretty good one that JL always posts at, the Conspiracy Nopal.
Yeah, I think John the Bond started it. JohnTheBond.com. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, there's auto hoaxes everywhere. So here's Ko-Fi. These are your stickers?
Yes, stickers and then other merchandise, which I have an account on Amazon merch. I've got shirts, mugs, stuff that I don't even promote the stuff to sell it necessarily all the time, but having it out there is just good for search results. We have to, again, make sure that when we're talked about, if this subject of these media skeptics described as auto hoaxing the news ever get any kind of attention from a bigger platform, we don't want to be lumped in with like Laura Loomer or Stu Peters. And the only way to maintain control of the conversation is to control the search results people get so they find us. And I think that's the case. And autohoax.com actually has the live streaming radio at the top, which is
Okay,
always going to, which is 24/7 now.
okay, let's look at that. That's new. Let's see who's playing. Okay, let me.
In with like Laura Loomer or Stu Peters.
Oh, right, you're streaming live. You're streaming this show live. Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I think it might have a listener count on there, but that's just that
Yeah,
platform.
9.
Okay, so we got 9 people listening on autohoax.com
So
for radio.
where is this radio station? Where do you got this hooked up to? Because I should hook up to something like
Okay,
this.
that's called Radio King, and they are mostly music, but I basically have an audio encoder, which is a very simple program, a little simple uh, piece of software where it takes my audio feed and sends it to that radio stream. And then from there, it goes to radio.net. It goes to TuneIn and like half a dozen other internet streaming radio. And then I set up the 24/7 live stream so that when I'm not live, the last 3 or 4 shows will just be on a loop.
Yeah, that's what I do with my audio server as well. Is it shortfake.com/stream1? So we're streaming on my own IceCast server. I've had it for 12 years.
Okay, let me put an ad for that. I'll put a graphic, like a
Yeah,
little radio graphic on autohooks.com next to mine there. So I'll put down, you got Fakeologist Radio,
yeah.
and what you
I
call
got
it, the live chat.
Well, yeah, it's basically it's Fakeologist Radio Stream 1 and Fakeologist Stream 2. That those would be the best ways to describe it. So Stream 1 is this show live, and as soon as we get off, it goes on a loop of the last, like you just said, 4 or 5 shows.
Okay, good, good, good. We'll have to do that
Fakeologist
then. Let's put
Yeah,
your
that'd be
in
great.
here too.
Fakeologist Stream 2 is our audio chat, which is usually on the weekends, which is many members, they just go and have a chat. It goes live, and as soon as they get off, it goes on the past audio chat loops. I used to have 3 stations, but nobody was listening, so I didn't wanna pay for the 3rd one anymore, so I paid for 2.
Okay, well, this one gets a lot of organic traffic, and
Mhm.
I try to invite people onto the chat. Just I tell audio listeners just to come to ips.monster. But what I'd like to see is like, yeah, we get your on here, your thing on here too, and hopefully this traffic bleeds over because if this topic is of interest to anybody, of course they're gonna want to hear people talking about it real time. And
Yeah.
it's kind of a niche thing. If you're not media savvy, if you're not psyop aware, you're not having this type of conversation. You're not in the know. Like this is kind of specialized knowledge. It's not conspiracy theory. It's just skepticism applied towards media, arriving at conclusions that the powers that be would prefer we didn't arrive at.
Yeah, it's fringe. It's the fringe of the fringe. We are the fringe of the fringe. JohnTheBond.com, who does a clip show, he was saying that his numbers are going down. He just says that ever since he came out that he doesn't believe in the flat Earth, that he's lost a lot of listeners. That was on his show just today. Actually, you've got it listed here. Clip show 16. So
Oh,
you've
cool.
yeah,
Cool.
so
Yeah.
you've got it here. I just listened to it today. So this should help maybe generate some more links for him.
Well, that's the idea. Because, see, in my opinion, the reason why John LeBon doesn't have the large numbers isn't that the numbers aren't there. It's that he's competing with the alternative media ecosystem, which is
Yeah.
heavily funded and controlled from above. So my thinking is if we break away and consider ourselves a third branch of media, the parallel media, then this becomes its own ecosystem. And anybody who abandons the big ship comes over here. And if we can get 10,000, 20,000 people into this area, they're
Yeah.
going to only have a certain number of content creators to go to. So they're all going to become JLB listeners, fakeologist listeners, IPS listeners, and
Yeah.
whoever else is on this particular area. So yeah, I think this is exactly why I'm doing it.
No, this is great. This is great. And I fakeologist.com. What I was gonna do is this is my main page, and I know it's not very uh, visually dynamic or anything like that. I just wanted it to be links, just to make it really easy, like the Drudge Report. I actually find that there is an appeal to the Drudge Report and what you've created at autohoax.com because it's really simple. It's not full of ads or pop-up players or videos. It's just links, which is sort of how the internet started. It's just really easy to find and it's not too busy. Um,
It's effective. And I've been studying a lot on marketing, affiliate marketing, and one of the things I keep running across is that your first impression, the first 6 seconds really matter. And if your website is clunky, overloaded, and takes a lot of time, you're going to lose a lot of traffic. You have to get people to make a click decision right away, know they're in the right place, give them something useful. And there's nothing more useful than relevant links. And this is the idea of a hub makes perfect sense. But we need something that isn't mixed in with mainstream alternative media. This has to be just people who are at our level 7.
Now this page always makes me laugh because I interviewed this guy a long time ago. This is big-lies.org, and he has the most dense link page I've ever seen. If you look at this. Isn't this amazing? He just packed it in like a classified ads, but these are all links. He's got a million links on the website. Now, I don't want to do this, but if you spend time on this one page, he's built this up over years. I don't know if it's still relevant or active, but if you like links, and I guess he added some funny graphics and whatnot, you'll find it here. So this is the kind of the opposite of what I've created, but you could spend all day drilling down on all these links. These are all clickable.
I think what I'll do is I am going to compile on autohoax.com on other pages on the website link
Yeah.
pages like this, static links. But the main page are dynamic links that are always going to be updating. So it's like I don't have to go to all these different sites. If I just go here, I'll get the most relevant. And the forums. It's nice to see that I can get the RSS feed from the forum directly so people can
Yes.
respond to comments, and that should help enliven things.
Well, that'll be good for my forums too, because the name of the game is finding these websites. These websites have good info, but nobody can find them. And the search engines are dead. They're going away in lieu of AI, the bots, which will go to those sites or other sites and bring all the information together, so you don't have to go actually read. You can just use
Oh,
these
and
bots.
it's terrible. If people are going to outsource their researching to AI,
Yeah.
they're going to be getting a curated, mainstream friendly version of things. And
Yes.
one of the points I'm making here with my bots, the reason I'm using bots is because our bots are brainwashed by me. The bots that I'm putting out there have the knowledge base that comes out of Autohoaxology 101, and they
Yeah.
respond accordingly. So we have skeptical bots. These are not going to be mainstream guardrailers.
That's fantastic. Now, so you also have the Substack. I assume you're just gonna move your operations to, I guess, what, infiniteplainsociety.com?
Well, infiniteplainsociety.com is just there to drive people into the Substack and to give people the elevator pitch. What are we about? And
Yeah.
relevant links. So I rebuilt this site because the domain was just being redirected to the Substack, but now it's an active website. I've imported all of my old blogs into it, and I've turned it into a store. I'm even selling the cards, t-shirts. I even have some supplements like Alex Jones. I'm selling creatine, uh, and other things.
All
It's in
right,
this.
$33.
It's mostly
That'll
there.
make you money.
Well, honestly, creatine or any kind of supplements that people buy routinely are actually a good way, I think, to fund your operation. If they believe in your operation and they're taking the stuff anyway, why not get it from you and get the cool label? But I am building that up as a store, and I'm actually loading it up with blog posts. And here's one other thing too. I was talking about using an AI agent that can create hundreds of blog posts that are SEO optimized.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to flood these sites with content, PSYOP deconstruction content that I'm going to essentially spam my own site and fill it up so that when you search PSYOPs, when you search hoaxes, we have to be the go-to. And that's what's going on here.
IPS Tangy Tangerine.
Yeah, basically.
Obviously, Alex Jones is funding his operation somehow, if it's not just all government money. So if he really is selling all these vitamins and supplements, even if they probably do absolutely nothing to your body, but maybe people think so. I guess it doesn't matter if they don't work. So if you can sell it, maybe add some coffee as well.
I do have coffee. If you
Oh, yeah.
actually scroll down to page 2, the supplier that I have for my t-shirts and other stuff, they've connected with suppliers for coffee, creatine, vitamins. So if you scroll back up where the creatine was,
Oh, yeah.
I think it has the list of products or whatever. I think it might have page 2 or something. But on the second page, I actually do have some coffee. Or if you scroll down, maybe in the suggested products, it'll have the coffee. I also
Okay.
have, it says Penguinati Brain Support Complex.
Wow. What's that?
I think it's probably vitamin B's. I mean, I haven't tried it yet.
60 capsules, vegetable capsules. Wow.
And those are all cyborg penguins. But yeah, brain support. So I'm not doing super male vitality. I'm not doing any of the stuff that InfoWars is doing. I'm trying to go for more stuff that's like cognitive
Oh, yeah, it's
functioning.
vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D. Yeah. I personally don't believe in vitamins, period, but it doesn't mean doesn't mean other people don't believe them. So
Well, you know what I believe in? The placebo effect.
yeah, well, for
And so I'm
yeah.
selling the placebo effect. If you want to believe that you could be 10% smarter with this particular vitamin, then believe away and buy it if it gives you that result.
And all this is on this. What store are you using for this?
It's called Printify.
Print.
Printify.com is they do drop shipping, third-party printers and products, and they integrate with WordPress with any kind of website they basically integrate with. And they have a variety of products that are doing quite well for a lot of people. And I've had various levels of success with them, but They've expanded their catalog to supplements, and I've been wanting to do B12 shots for a long time, and I was going to brand them as adrenochrome, and I tried to do that, but then I realized I can't. I can't put adrenochrome on a B12 shot for I guess FDA reasons or labeling reasons. But anyway, the coffee and popcorn. I've wanted to do Q popcorn. You know how they're always having their whole thing about the popcorn. They always have the popcorn emoji. So I was going to have a brand of popcorn spelled with a Q and
Wow.
see if I could sell it to the Q people. But I kind of think the Q movement is not really as active. So I don't know if there's a market anymore.
Yeah, anyone in the comments that's actually listening to this show, are you guys buying these products? Would you support? Are you supporting IPS through this method? Seems like a pretty easy way to do it. I'm just curious if it would be worth it for Fakeologists to put create some logos and some graphics. Do people always want to get something for their value for value? I don't know.
Well, okay, Lost Spiderfella says selling a placebo. Well, okay, I'm actually being facetious. I mean, I do believe in the placebo effect, but I actually do take certain things. And I started taking creatine because I had trucker shoulder. When I was driving bodies for this Moore's transport, I
Yeah.
was going to Farmington and back 12 hours at a time. And it was really tense and driving fast and holding the steering wheel tight. I screwed up my shoulder. So I had to get back into the gym. And I started taking creatine just because I heard that it can increase the number of reps. And I was doing calisthenics and the number of reps went up. And I'm talking like a significant and measurable. And so I have reason to believe it works. So I'm not. So if it's a placebo, it's amazing. I'm
That's great.
amazed. It's amazing regardless. But if it's a placebo, it's even more amazing.
Bach Precision said you should write a manual on how to market your brand in 2025 and sell it. A lot of content creators will benefit by it. So there you go. I'm just reading backwards through the comments, getting a lot of comments tonight. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure Tim can train you how to market yourself. Finds all
Well, if
these
you're,
websites.
do you remember when we started? We put up a billboard that said "Research Flat Earth," and
Yeah.
at the time I said we're not going to get anywhere with these conversations without breaking the echo chamber of the mainstream. And I said we have to get into commerce. You know, we have to compete in every area and be present everywhere. And
Yeah.
the board is kind of a culmination of that. So ultimately, this is about the ideas. It's not about these products.
Well, my favorite one so far is the trading cards. I think that's just really cool. And is it AI that generated these graphics?
Chat GPT. So Chat GPT recently started creating graphics. So I just go in there and I say, create me an image of a trading card, call it quote PSYOP trading cards, give me an aged wrapper that looks like Tupac, call
Wow.
it Death Fakers, and put this domain at the bottom. So I give it 5 or 6 sentences of instruction and it creates
So
it. And and it's Chat GPT. So it's that easy. It's actually that
wow.
simple.
Wow. That is such a great idea.
In
Might have
fact,
to
I sent
do
you one. Did you see my newsletter? I actually created a Fakeologist trading card. I put your logo in one of these things.
I did
Like,
not see that. Where is that?
check ips.monster and
Okay, hold
or
on.
and then and the latest blog post that I sent out. And what I did is I uploaded your clip art wizard to Chat GPT, and I
Yeah,
said,
that's all it is. It's just a cheap clip art wizard.
and I said, can you put this on a PSYOP trading card? So if you scroll to the top,
Okay, here's the
and
top of IPS.monster.
in the very top where it says Infinite Plane Society, if you click that, it'll get you to the basic page. There we go.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. Right.
There's your Fakeologist PSYOP card.
Oh, nice. That is great. That is great. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I should do some trading cards as well. It could be another series. I mean, there could be infinite number of trading cards, really. Collect them all.
I think you should. I think it'd be great. I think JLB should have a trading card for every conversation that has like him
Yeah.
and the person he's talking to. You should have one with all your starring people like Lynn, and then I will have my psyop trading cards, and I think we could create, like I said, we have to create our own ecosystem here.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. This is very artistic. It's actually kind of fun, and we
Yeah,
get to get the young
I think you
people
could print that
into
out.
it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that is something too. It's fun because it's creative work, and I think it's funny too. I was like, I took his logo, I just throw it in there, and it's just like 5 seconds later, I have this to throw into my newsletter.
Yeah, I think it could catch on. It could catch on. That's great. Well, you're very creative, that's for sure. You really you push the limits of marketing. You find all these websites that can automate it. And now you're using bots. I think that's amazing that you figured out how to replicate yourself without much of an expense. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And oh,
It's
One Eye Jack says like concert posters. That's something too. See, that's how it works though. You tell it, create me a concert poster
hmm
and have the bands Fakeologist, IPS, JLB, and then you give them logos, and it will artistically render these things. So I'm interested to see what other people come up with. And when I started this channel, we really got into memes. That's why we had the penguin. And a lot of people had never made memes before. And I was like, yeah, just crop this face, drop it on that, throw some words. And our memes were pretty bad and crude. But over time, we had a lot of meme engineers arise out of it. And so I kind of think this is great because we can kind of return to our roots, going back to making art and memes again as part of our process.
Yeah, it's kind of like the No Agenda art generator. I don't know if you listen to the show No Agenda.
I like No Agenda. I haven't seen his art generator.
Well, this is an interesting site then for you to check it out because he's had this for a long time, and as people listen to the show, they take themes and create artwork for the show on the fly, and at the end of the show, they pick whatever is the most interesting piece of artwork and make it their album art for the podcast. And recently, I would say in the last 6 months, it's been overtaken by AI. So all their contributors are switching to AI, where they used to, I guess, just use whatever program it was to create the artwork. But now, because of the power of AI, they're seeing that most of the stuff is AI. So um, it's
Wow,
it's
actually it's a real time change we've witnessed. I used to make thumbnails for my shows where I would take a screenshot from everything I'm talking about and then artfully put it together and make it look like a tabloid. And it took a lot of time. Well, now I can do the same thing. You can just copy and paste your notes for the show and tell it, make me an image in this style based on these headlines, and it will do it. And it looks like that's what he's doing, or now
yeah.
everybody's doing this. They're doing it through a
Yeah,
automation.
this is his show for today. So they did a show today, Sunday. I haven't listened to it yet. So what happens is everyone submits their art. So it starts right here. So I don't know what the concepts discussed in the show were today, but you can see that people are generating all this artwork and they repurpose it for newsletters, that kind of thing. So this is user created, but you really have to listen to the show to understand where these pieces of art originate from. But I like the playing cards a little bit better, and we really gotta get our audience generating playing cards, I guess, with the template you give them. Like, and
Yeah,
obviously, you just
absolutely. I want
get them.
ideas, suggestions,
Yeah.
because if we have enough playing cards, I will make a deck. I have the printer ready to go. We just need the ideas, and we need the, I guess,
Yeah,
kind of
this
a
is really
yeah.
good brainstorming. We get the audience to participate and help propagate, and as long as they got the website at the bottom, autohoax.com, fakeologist.com, uh it could really work out. Spread movie posters, stickers. I like the stickers idea. You can stick them on mailboxes, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah, stickers are great, and they are, like I said, you can just turn it from a sticker into a card pretty easily. The cards, though, are going to have a bunch of factual information. And the nice thing about
Oh,
the
yeah.
stickers is you could put QR codes
Yeah,
or
QR codes are great. I use QR codes when I can. Yeah, they're great. As a matter of fact, there's a QR code on my page right now on this video we're presenting, and if you scan this QR code, you'll go to my donate page, and actually Restream counts the number of people that scan it via the link, of course. So if you scan this and click the link or go to the link that your phone generates from this QR code, I'll see the number on the screen. So no one's done it tonight, but if you want to submit value for this show, just scan the QR code on the top left and send a coffee. I have Ko-Fi, I have Buy Me a Coffee, I have Stripe. If you want to contribute to the show, I've got a QR code for Bitcoin. I'll take Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to go back over 100,000 soon, so there you go.
Where is it
Whatever.
now? Where is Bitcoin now?
It's been stuck in the 80s for a couple months.
Really? I had not followed it since it fell below 100. Okay.
I'm tracking it now because I got rid of all my Bitcoin and instead trading options on Bitcoin just to be more creative. So it's at 85,000 now. So, it's a real currency. Its market cap is 1.6 trillion dollars. So that's serious money. It's
Yeah,
not as much.
absolutely.
It's a real thing. So I don't know who controls it, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if the guy next door will take it, then it's worth something. If he doesn't take it, then it's not worth something. So yeah, we take any value that people want to give. So I'm sure IPS, if he had to, you would take Bitcoin too. You have a donate page, I think.
Well, the ips.monster has all the donate links, and I do have a Bitcoin address there. One thing I think that one of my objectives here is that if we could just break away, not just ourselves, but the listeners from supporting alternative media. Like, I mean, I listen, I participate, I engage in certain levels, but I'm not supporting enemy propaganda or war propaganda. Once we can cut people off of that, they should just throw their support to those of us who are doing this so we can blow this up. And this is small right now, but I happen to think that the audience for the content that we're talking about is much bigger than you would think, but you wouldn't know because they've managed to put everybody into this region and just crap flood it
Yeah, I don't
with.
see your Bitcoin. I see Super Chats, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Stripe, Patreon, Donor Box, and oh, there it is right here. Sorry. There it is right there. There's your address. So if you want to send Tim Osmond Bitcoin, right there on the bottom. You
And
can
by the
generate.
way,
Yeah.
you last time we talked about the Exit Trutherville course that I'm selling,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that one of the links that you shared got a sale. And
Oh
so
whoa.
if you
Okay.
check your PayPal, you should have an incoming referral fee, which is, again, like I said, I'm experimenting with the idea of having people sell the course as an affiliate and then they get a cut. So if anybody wants to sell Exit Trutherville, you get 50% of all sales. You just got to go to the Gumroad site and sign up as an affiliate. It's super easy.
Yeah. Where's my affiliate link again? How do I find that? I have to go to what is it? Gumroad?
Gum, yeah, the Gumroad. I think I emailed it to you as well. But if you go to
Yeah.
Gumroad and check your payouts.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Log in. Da, 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 da. I can't remember how to log in right now. Oh, here it is, Gumroad. And let me just see here. Gumroad authentication to so many logins. It's just crazy.
I know I have login fatigue. I can't wait just to be able to use my palm to log into everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just trying to get this Exit Trutherville course out there in front because that kind of encapsulates a lot of our ideas at a very basic level, so people know what I mean when I say the MSM worldview versus the MSM plus. But this course, I'm selling it through Gumroad because they make it possible for people to promote it and get a commission on sales.
Wow, it looks I've earned $33 and that's got to be all through you. Wow, that's fantastic. I'm looking right now. Now I got to find my link again. Wow, you're absolutely right.
Okay,
That's fantastic.
I'll send you a link again. I think I might have sent it to you, but if anybody wants to know, if you go to gumroad.com/Tim Osman, that's my account. But I have the Exit Trutherville course, a crash course in autohoaxology, and I'm going to exclusively promote this through affiliates. So if you got a blog, social media, if you just want to share that particular course, you get your own unique link. And if somebody buys it, you get a payday.
Yeah, I've had 4 sales. Isn't that awesome?
That's good.
I've had 4 sales. Thank you, Tim Osman. Wow. I'm gonna put the show notes in. I'll put it in the chat so maybe people can click on it. Oh, that's amazing. Must be
And what
doing
they get in the course is they get PDFs, they get infographics, and that's like a 111-minute breakdown by me. So that's what's included in that course.
That's just amazing. Yeah, the work you do. It's amazing. Let me put it, I'm going to put a link to that at the very top of the show notes so people can see it. And yeah, I'm making money on Tim Osman's auto hoax. That's fantastic.
Well, I was thinking if we could just monetize the truth, like the way that the media has monetized lies, it can incentivize people to spread it. And we're just trying to level the playing field here. And there's money in spamming about chemtrails. There's money in spamming and passing out Q pipes. So why shouldn't we monetize media fakery and incentivize content creators? Because the more content creators in this arena, the bigger the audience. I think it's an economic opportunity for people who can't make it in regular media because the competition has drowned us out.
Okay, that's going to be the top link at FAK1056 IPS Joint Auto Hoax Show. Purchase Tim Osman's Auto Hoax Guide. That's what it's called, right?
Exit Trutherville. Yeah, Exit Trutherville, the crash course in autohoaxology.
How many pages is that?
It's an hour plus, and then it's got the PDF of Autohoaxology 101, which is like 100 and something pages, and then it's got the World Stage Deprogramming Guide and some graphics. So it's just a whole course.
That's fantastic. I'll put a link to that if I can, and everyone can go over there and help Tim Osman out. That's fantastic. Wow, that was well worth that link that you gave me last week. That's tremendous.
Well, thanks for getting involved. I was thinking, I just need to get everybody on the same sheet as far as like this, that we're all in this together, as far as we are breaking away from the big box and forming our own thing so we can consolidate our resources as a separate entity. And it'll be beneficial for all of us, in my opinion. And it'll speed up the research.
That is great. Okay, well, I think we'll play off. We've been going for about an hour tonight. I have a long day tomorrow and today, so that's what I wanted to do a connection with you. Oh, somebody signed the or somebody scanned the code. Thank you for the one person that yeah. Till is saying this sounds like a timeshare for truth. Sorry about that. Well, you know what?
It
We got to
does.
promote ourselves. Okay, that's fine. Listen, we talk about different things all the time. People got to realize.
I'm promoting affiliate links and creatine supplements. Like, I know where he's coming from. It's like this is exactly what they
Okay, it
left.
is cringe, but you know this is a little bit under the behind the scenes. This operation doesn't fund itself. Like my operation funds itself basically by my exchange of time all day long. But Tim Osman puts more direct time into his website. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people don't like the behind the scenes stuff, but this is reality.
Oh, we've always talked behind the scenes, and it's been very helpful. You were the one who told me to host my own sites, and I hadn't done it until recently, and now I understand why. There's so many advantages to doing it. This has been very, very helpful
Well,
to
you're
have
not
these.
going to get cut off. I mean, Substack can cut you off tomorrow. Now they haven't cut anyone off that I know of really yet, but yeah, you got to have your own data. So I put all my energy into my own forums, into my own blog, and my own video platform, and people do support it. People do appreciate it, and I appreciate them for helping out. I really do. It's fantastic.
Yep,
Fantastic all the help.
I I think so. We have great great listeners who are all also involved in the work of reasoning and thinking and processing the information. Like, to me, this think tank thing, which has been going on for some time, is unique. There is nothing like it, and I put everything into it because other people do as well. And so I'm very thankful for everyone who supports, subscribes, shares, comments, and all of that.
I do too. Okay, are you going to keep your show going after this, I guess?
After this, I was live before, so
Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm doing after this. I might, but
All
I'm
right.
definitely going to be involved in the Discord and Gilded. So thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it very much, and thanks to all the listeners and commenters.
Yeah, thank you, Tim Osmond, IPS.monster, autohoax.com. I think that's the best website, autohoax.com, to promote. It's easy, it means a lot, and it's dynamic. So autohoax.com, that's the website we should promote for today, I think.
I agree. I will, and I will be adding the forums, RSS
Yeah.
feed, and links to your audio feeds this evening. So thanks again.
Thank you, and we'll play this great Symbia song that she wrote really as a tribute to you and your website, which, that's just fantastic that you get an artist. This is talk about value for value, people creating content that's so relevant, and this is such a good audio. I'm gonna play the whole thing, so we'll play out Tim Osmond. Thanks a lot.
Don't believe in chemtrails. I don't live in truth or veil. Just because you saw it on the screen doesn't make it real. I don't take the red pill, I don't take the blue pill. I just choose to follow my dreams out of hooks and chill. I stepped off the world stage and I've moved away from all the fake outrage and the hearsay. And I don't give the time of day to those what they say, cause they got a bad case of the mind age. I stepped away from the game entirely. I won't be caught up in the lame dichotomy. I've stepped away from the cage entirely. I'm free today and my mind's been saved by reading autohoaxology. Out of the control system finally. I know where to go if you follow me, cause I've been reading autohoaxology. Nothing can bother me. Autohoaxology won't put the screen before it's blasphemy. I won't become another mind war casualty. I came up out the realm of possibility to take the helm of this reality. Cause I've been chillin' reading autohoaxology, rejecting all the expectations of the auto-believer, to become a new creation on the raft of receivers. Standing on the sword of truth, I stop the facts of deceivers, demanding burdens of the proof from all the hacks and believers. I've stepped away from the game entirely. I won't be caught up in the lame dichotomy. I've stepped away from the cage entirely. I'm free today and my mind's been saved by reading autohoaxology. Out of the control system finally. I know where to go if you follow me, cause I'm reading autohoaxology. Nothing can bother me. Autohoaxology won't put the screen before it's blasphemy. I won't become another mind war casualty. I came up out the realm of possibility to take the helm of this reality. I've been chillin' reading autohoaxology, suspending all the judgment. You won't get a reaction, won't defend it. I won't budge until I get all the facts in. I won't argue with the boss about the next current thinker, crying over the fake bodies like a bitter death clinger. I've been reading autohoaxology. Nothing can bother me. Autohoaxology. I've been reading autohoaxology. That's my philosophy.